maybe I should try something else. Maybe I won't.
It wasn't cool when we were. I don't even know if you were there, but I was in Detroit. I just went out, I met a girl at a random city. She's like,
yeah.
"You want to come out to the club?" I'm like, "I'm gonna come to the club." Oh, all right, cool.
I always tell people this, or not tell. It's kind of hard to tell people because you can't really see the future,
Right.
So you have to be optimistic about the future.
Absolutely.
And I always think now, like today, if we didn't make those decisions, where would we be today?
Man. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Shark Talk, the podcast. It's the podcast where we talk to sharks, as sharks, and bring you in on the conversation. Today we have a really special guest.
What's up, guys? Branden Stringer.
My
but you
boy-
better known as CEO Branden. My bad.
My boy Branden Stringer is here. How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
Man, I feel like this about to be a funny episode.
Oh, you already know.
I feel like I'm about to start laughing for whatever reason, man. So first, I want to start off by saying a lot of people know the both of us from us doing business together. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, we joined this company that people used to consider the pyramid scheme.
Oh yeah, the number one. We started it.
Yeah, we started the wave, right?
Definitely started the wave.
Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit, man. We got involved with a company.
Okay.
It was called Wake Up Now.
Yep.
The company with the rainbow debit card. I got roasted. When we started that company, I was in the hood. I know you.
Oh yeah.
I know you was.
Yeah.
I know you weren't in the hood like me, but I was like, "Yo, man, join this company," and it had like this little fruity looking debit card with rainbows on there.
You was doing meetings in the hood,
It was.
Oh yeah.
People cursed me out too, like, "Hey, man, this product suck. Run my bread." Like it was crazy.
I remember you telling me about. I never actually went with you, but
for
I
sure.
left that to you.
For sure. So a lot of people don't know, but we blew up and made a lot of money from that situation because of this. I mean, we were doing okay. Like I think that I was making around $800 a month.
Okay, yeah.
And you were making like
$5,000. I'm making $5,000. I remember.
what? You was making 5 and I was making 8.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Why you think I said you can't? Just to clear it up real quick.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what we're talking about,
Okay.
I asked Shaq to pretty much move in with me in Buckhead.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to move in Buckhead.
Yeah.
He was making $800 a month. I just hit $5,000 a month. I was feeling like I was the man. I said, look, bro,
Yeah.
even if you can't afford it, because I knew he was only making $800, I'll take care of the other side. But I knew he was a hustler, so I knew he was gonna be able to do it himself anyway.
Yeah, no, for sure. So just to give a more backstory from my perspective.
Okay.
So Branden hit me up and we were doing this business. It was he actually lied to me to get involved. He finessed me into success. So he called me and was like, "Hey man, I got this business opportunity. It's kind of scammy. It's like a savings portal. I don't know what it's all about, but it's $100 a month and there's a lot of people there. We could sell them these products because we was a part of something else." He was like, "We could sell all these people these products because they green. They willing to do whatever." And I'm just like, "Oh yeah?" He was like, "Yes, $100 a month and you need 12 people to make 600. I got 12 people, so you ain't got to worry about it. Just sign up and you going to get paid and then we going to finesse all these people." So I was like, "Yo, I like the way you talking." So I ended up signing up. And then I called like 3 people that was close to me, right? And I'm like, "Yo, I just got a call from Branden." They all knew who he was off the internet. So I was leveraging a little of that. I'm like, "Yo, Branden just called me and said, this company, he just signed me up for $400. He gonna put a bunch of people under me and I'm gonna make money. But if you sign up before he put these people under me,
You get the people.
then you get the people." That's what I told them. And they was like, "Okay." My ex at the time, my cousin, a couple of people got involved. And then I called Branden back. I signed up my own 3 people. I called Branden back. It was like, "Yo, how many people you say I need to make 600? He was like, 12. I said, "Bro, I just signed up 3. He was like, "Hey, keep going." So long story short, he never gave me those 12 people. I signed up my own 12 people. He gave me people, but I signed up my own 12.
I gave my brother.
I signed up my own 12 and I made my own $600. So, that was the beginning of something that changed my life completely.
For sure. And I think a lot of people always think that it changed our life because of the money. No, it changed our life through the process of no's and business not going correct and networking with people,
learning how to market.
It's a lot of things I did get from multi-level marketing that I actually made who we are today.
Yeah, that's a fact. Because I still use a lot of those skills that we learned because we were doing that. So then Brandon asked me, hey man, he making $5,000 a month. I'm like, my mind is blown because it's happening fast.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm making my little $800 a month, which was good for me back then.
Yeah.
Because my goal was to just make $1,000 a month.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm like, I'm $200 shy from being pretty much free.
Yeah.
At least from a job. And he making $5,000 a month. So he called me. He like, hey, bro, I'm about to go look at this apartment in Buckhead, man. You might as well pull up. Thinking like, I don't even go to Buckhead. I was so like in my own box at the time. So then I ended up pulling up, and he was making jokes on me because I pulled up in my ex car. My car was in the shop. He was like, bro, what you doing driving this yellow car? Long story, but I'm gonna keep it moving. Anyway, so we looking at the apartment. I'm thinking like, yo, this dude really about to move here. Like, what? He about to live here?
Nice too.
It was like hardwood floors. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So after we finished the whole tour, I'm thinking I'm about to go back to my raggedy apartment. This man was like, hey, bro, listen, I just looked at a 2-bedroom. If you want, you can just get the other bedroom, man. And I'm thinking like, bro, I can't afford to live. I can't even pay half that rent. Like, are you nuts? I make $800 a month. And then he hit me with the, yo, bro, if you can't pay it, don't even worry about it, man. I mean, I was going to get the apartment whether you move in or not. So I didn't tell him yet. I didn't tell you immediately because I still felt weird. Like me and your relationship was cool, but it wasn't that cool. Yeah. It kind of was awkward. Like I couldn't see from your perspective what you were doing.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, yo, this dude is kind of crazy. Like he don't know me like that, but we getting money together or whatever. Yeah. So I went home. I never told you this part, but I actually asked my ex what she thought about it. And then she was like, do it. She really was like what pushed me because I was out of my comfort zone. Like you asking me that, I was just like, nah, this is weird. When I get that weird thing going in my chest, regardless of what it might really be, if I think something is weird, I'm good.
I want you to think about this. If your ex didn't push you, where would we both be today? Just from that little decision.
I don't even want to think about it. But she pushed me. She told me to do it. And then so I did it. And we changed everything, bro. I moved in that apartment making $800 a month. I moved out making I think $19,000 a month.
Chipotle is 6 figures.
Yeah. So that was life changing, man. So we had a lot of experiences and we learned a lot together throughout that process. What do you think was your biggest takeaway from that whole situation?
My biggest takeaway was, which was helped me in business today, is understanding the value behind exchanging value for money versus exchanging time. Like that was my biggest thing I've learned.
What do you mean more specifically?
So I'll give you an example, like because most people, we're used to, looking for that dream job where this job will take our time in exchange. We give them value and they pay us for that value that we bring to the table for our time at the same time. So they get our value and our time at the same time.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, they're selling value and they're getting enough money to pay me and thousands of other people. So I'm thinking, what if I've been on the other side where I can exchange value for income? And we were doing that. We were giving people value, not only on the product side, but on the mentorship side, even though we're young, on the just a community, because I think a lot of things, or at least around when we were doing it, where a lot of people weren't around people who wanted to be entrepreneurs overall. So we gave people a comfortable space to want to be better than what we were giving or what we were taught. So
that's true.
That's what I got from it, like the exchange of value. And that exchange of value could be anything. That's why a lot of people are big on social media now. They exchange some type of content of value. Yeah. They exchange for followers. I exchange products for income. You exchange the products that you offer for income. And I think that when people can provide value, they can and change other people's lives, they can change themselves' lives. And that's what I got from it.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. So basically, it's instead of attempting to use your time and letting somebody else extract the value and sell that value, obviously you're bringing more value than they're paying you for. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to even pay you.
Facts.
Right? Like if I'm gonna pay you $10 an hour, then I need to find out how to make $50 an hour off of your time that I'm paying you.
That's a 5 times investment.
Yeah, it's a 5-time multiple. So
multiple 5 times.
It's like it's
compounding.
I mean that's logical.
But
that's good, man. That's good.
What about you?
I think my biggest takeaway from that network marketing experience was to just sometimes not try to figure everything out and just go with the flow. You know, because a lot of it was completely outside my comfort zone, right? Like even you putting it, you made us get on camera. Yeah. Like I remember one time I was like, it was low key, high key. I was trying to curse you out because you was taking pictures of our food. Remember that?
Yeah.
We went out to a restaurant and you was like, oh, we out. And I'm just like, bro, stop recording everything we doing. You the feds. I was so ignorant, bro. I was like, yo, what are you doing? And he was like, bro, I'm using social media because people weren't doing that.
I was about to say too, we really were the first people on like social media doing everyday things that anyone can do, but just putting it on social media, which made it like I remember I made a joke about how when we went to I forgot we was out somewhere. We went on a lot of places back in the day, and we just took a picture playing pool, and everyone's just so excited watching us playing pool, like they can't go and play pool now. And look at 10 years later, reality TV shows going strong. People just like watching people do things that they can also do.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because Justin was here. Obviously, he was a partner of ours. Yeah. He was talking about how he had no idea the power of social media. And it was because of some of the philosophies you taught me, I ended up teaching him. It was like me telling you like, yo, stop posting. You shut me up. Like you did it. In my mind at the time, I was like, I can't even look at this like it's disrespectful because he right. Yep. Like, but if you weren't you, I probably would have felt like it's time to turn up. Because you were like, I was like, bro, stop recording everything we do. And then you just showed me your check. Yeah. It was like I knew how much you made. But you just, it's like, bro, it's like I'm making this much money and this is what I'm doing, and you trying to tell me not to do it, and it's just like I just had a moment. It's like, what type of person are you? Are you the type of person to think you know everything, or do you want these results?
Facts.
So to a certain extent, I was always a leader where I was from. Yeah. Like I had to learn how to listen to somebody, and it was tough for me at first, but you had a lot of knowledge when it came to, you know, how to brand yourself, how to, you know, put yourself out there, how to, you know, be a person that people were interested in. Yeah. And I had no idea how to do any of that. Yeah. You know, so that was, I think, one of my biggest takeaways was allow yourself to not always be in control. Like you don't have to steer the ship in order to get there. Like me being a support system for what we were doing was so powerful because in all of my other endeavors prior to that, which weren't, you know, they didn't amount to nowhere near what we established, I wasn't the support system. I was the thing. Yeah. So me taking the role of allowing you to guide me and I'm just backing you, it was a very powerful scenario because even though I didn't have the awareness that you did in regards to like being on YouTube or being on social media or doing any of those things, I still had a lot of leadership skills. Yeah. So man, I think that was really the biggest takeaway, learning how to be open.
I think that, because here's the thing, like I think, like how you said, a lot of your things being open, like, you're giving me too much credit, right? Because you got to think about it too. We were just really just making things up as we go. And I feel like, I think being optimistic can also be a skill set, right? So it's like, I didn't know what the result. Honestly, I didn't know that the end result was going to be $20,000 a month or $50,000 a month or whatever we're making around that time.
Yeah, but by the way, I made my income claim. I think I was 19, 20, making like $19,000 a month. You were making like what? 30, 40 something?
At 23, I was probably making like $34,000 a month around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 34, 35. Yeah. And I probably exaggerated 40,000 when people ask though.
Yeah. But, like, hey, 40,
you know, you round up. But I think a lot of people, like I always tell people this, or not tell. It's kind of hard to tell people because you can't really see the future, right? So you have to just be optimistic about the future.
Absolutely.
And I always think now, like today, if we didn't make those decisions, where would we be today?
Man,
and and the people who didn't make that decision, where are they today?
Right.
And there are now people just trying to become entrepreneurs because after 10 years they realize, you know what? Maybe I should try something else. Maybe I won't.
It wasn't cool when we were doing it.
It wasn't cool at all.
There was nothing cool about it.
If anything, people made fun of us.
Yeah.
Like we were the butt of the joke. Like we're making $30,000 a month, $19,000 a month, and people were like talking down on us. It was almost mind blowing because it was like, am I in the Twilight Zone? This person makes $1,000 a month. I make 35,000 a month. And there was like, so is that thing still working? I was like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah. Even if it stops today, my life is still significantly better than yours.
That kind of reminds me when it did stop, this guy who hit me up, he's like, it was $100, right?
Yeah.
And I know it was 15 years ago, but $100 is still $100.
It wasn't 15 years ago. You wow. I ain't that old.
Okay, 10 years ago. Whatever.
Yeah. Come on now. Tighten up.
So the guy got mad at me because he was like, okay, I'm ready to join. Mind you, it already ended at this time. And it was like 2 years later, bro, he finally got the money together.
Oh my
Which
God.
is $100. He's like, and 2 years later, he's like, okay, I'm ready, bro. I said, well, it's our business now. He said, I knew I was in the joint. Bro, what?
You missed all the experiences.
All the money.
We done traveled all over the country. We done been to multiple other countries. We became a national known brand. I remember one time I don't even know if you were there, but I was in Detroit. I just went out, I met a girl at a random, in a random city. She's like, you want to come out to the club? I'm like, I'm going to come to the club. Oh, all right, cool. I go out to the club, bro. People was recognizing me from YouTube. They was like, yo, that's the dude from, and I'm just sitting there thinking like, I know I'm in Detroit. Yeah. I know about Detroit. I know enough about Detroit to know that ain't good that people just recognizing me from the internet.
Yeah.
Especially since I ain't really carrying or doing none of that. So people really rob themselves of an experience just being skeptical. And that's where I almost fell into that category. It took, somebody being in my ear and just saying, just do it. Because I'm intelligent, and sometimes intelligence block blessings because you overthink to the point where it's like, this dude just asked you, do you not want to live in the hood? And you skeptical. And I'm thinking about the numbers, I'm thinking about the math, and I know you said, bro, if you don't have it, I'll cover it.
Still sounds like a risk.
Let me throw this out there for the podcast. He's never covered any of my bills.
He never let me. He took care of it.
He never carried me ever. So I just want to make sure I say that. He threw it out there as like a safety net to make me feel like, it's like, a bird jumping out the nest, like, you gonna fly or you gonna die.
Yeah.
But I always knew, like, nah, I'm not letting no grown man.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people need to hear stuff like that because, whenever somebody offered them a helping hand, sometimes people, they become takers. It's like, I could have easily manipulated that situation and allowed you to do things that I had the power to take care of.
And it only would have hurt you.
Say that again?
And it only would have hurt you in the long run.
It would have hurt me because the respect that you had for me potentially would have diminished. Our relationship probably wouldn't have been as fruitful because I'm half-stepping. And once you start half-stepping in one area, it show up in your life in other places.
Facts.
And I didn't allow my circumstance or how much money I had to determine what my results were going to be.
Yeah.
I just made it work. And I felt like I'm a grown man, you a grown man. Shouldn't no grown man be taking care of no other grown man. That's not how I go.
Yeah.
I mean, for a while, my mattress was on, I was on some cot type energy. I'm not going to cap for the camera, right? Like you had the whole, bruh, it was crazy because we had the roommate style crib.
Oh, yeah.
Your side of the crib was furnished to the teeth. My side of the crib looked like a cot, right? But I didn't allow that to make me feel demotivated. I didn't allow that to, mess up my psyche. I knew what we were there to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, look, I came here to not be in the hood. I might still be living like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be living like this for long.
Facts.
Right? So we made it work, man.
And you got to think about outside of all the motivational stuff we talked about, like the entrepreneurship and the growth within ourselves.
Yeah.
Talk about what about all the fun that we had?
Oh, bro.
The fun,
listen,
like the parties, the vacations.
Hold on. Whoa. Let's not even you talk about parties. Hold up now. Because we don't always party when you decided you wanted to have a good time.
Yeah.
Like, you actually brought this up before we started. Like, I used to get mad at you. Like, angry because you would get drunk. I'm not talking about just a sip. Like, you would be Peter Griffin drunk before a business meeting. We about to meet people we don't know, and you are hammered.
Toasted.
And it's like, nah, bro, I'm good. And I'm just thinking, like, why would you do this? And then when we would have the meeting, I'm mad at you. Like, I'm like, yo, man, this man trying to play with my money, bro. Like, I'm trusting this man.
Room full of people about to listen to our presentation on how to change their life financially.
How to change their life financially.
And I'm drunk.
And there's 20, 30 people there. And we don't know probably but 5. And you drunk. And I'm here, and there's both of us talking. We the guys who making all the money, and I'm thinking this dude about to embarrass me. And I start talking, and I say something. I'm over here articulating myself, and I'm thinking I'm killing it. And then you start talking, and I'm sitting here thinking, this Negro is rambling. He not talking like he got sense. He is slurring. He's slurring his words. I know you drunk. I hear it. I'm like, he's slurring his words. And then after we finish the presentation, people will walk up to you. And I'm sitting there watching this with my own two eyes. And they're like, yo, I loved everything y'all said. But when you said this, oh my God, that was, I relate to that. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, he got on flip-flops. He's drunk.
Drunk flip-flops.
I don't even think, at the time, I think I only owned like one pair of sneakers, right? Like we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we were busted.
Yeah, bro. That's not even.
I wasn't even trying.
You wasn't. See, you got away with it because people thought you was putting up no effort. I was just messed up in the game, like 100%. I didn't even know how to act like I didn't care because I did. I just didn't have it, right? People would be like, yo, I could just tell you living free. You don't care about nothing. I want to join right now. And I'm just sitting there thinking like.
I think what it is that there have been so many presentations and they're fine just find someone they can relate to. And I simplify stuff.
You were being real.
Yeah.
You were being super real. You were being super genuine. And I think that it throws people off when the person isn't uptight.
Yeah.
When the person, now we can see this. We see this all day, every day.
Yeah.
You'll look online and you'll see entrepreneurs saying, hey, I just closed a $500,000 deal with a Gucci shirt on and a hoodie. And it's just like, well, his results count.
Yeah.
And we can kind of accept that. But back then,
it was not. We set the trend.
Only people
the
only people who were doing that were only people who were doing business were people who wore those big suits, who nobody wanted to be like, who people wanted to avoid.
They weren't fun.
They weren't, or young. Most young people were not even thinking about being entrepreneurs.
Or they're so serious, it came off a little scammy.
That is exactly right.
And then they see this guy who's drunk with flip-flops on, talking about money, and he's actually living in a nice place.
And we both had locks at the time.
Oh yeah, so it's like. If he, it was more like this. If he can do it, I know I can do it. So I make them feel comfortable about themselves doing it.
Yeah,
they see this uptight 6'5" guy, nice dress, spazzed out, talking about you can do it like me. I said I can't do what you do, but I can do that drunk, do the flip flops he do. I can do what he do for sure.
No, that's real, bro.
And then I would simplify things out because I know how I would comprehend it. Yeah. So I would regurgitate how I would want to understand it.
Bro, that was your genius. Your genius to me is like sometimes I would explain it and I would explain it in a way where you really have to be intelligent to comprehend what I'm saying to a certain extent.
Yeah.
It's like I'm speaking in English.
A certain level of understanding.
Yeah, it's like, yo, man, listen. Instead of I would explain it like instead of doing marketing, instead of spending money on marketing, these companies are spending money on the client and allowing us to just share it. And they're allocating those marketing dollars to us. Now, I didn't say nothing deep. Yeah. I just said allocating marketing dollars, and then people act like they just got lost. It's like, wait a minute, allocating marketing dollars? And then Branden will come right behind me. He was like,
I'm gonna tell him, watch this. I'm like, you got cell phone service? They're like, yeah. I said, how much you pay a month? Like, let's say you pay $100 a month. Like, okay. If you can sell that cell phone service to 100 people and they pay $100 a month, how much you making? $10,000 a month. Okay, cool. You do what's more important, $100 to them or that cell phone service? They said the cell phone service. What if I told you I had some type of value that's worth more than $100? That if you sold it to this many people, you can make this much money every single month. They're like, oh, I would love something like that. So I would just set people up before I even talk about his business mumbo jumbo to just understand stuff they already go through every day.
Right.
Yeah, just keeping it simple. Like, oh, I would love to give value. So they don't know anything about savings or vacation trips. All they know is, if I can give someone value and I can make this much money a month, and then I put them in something simple to where the cell phone, because everyone values their cell phone more than a $100 bill. So now they're like, wow, can I give out something that's more value than a cell phone service and make money? Yeah, I'll tell somebody. Then I go into the products. I don't go into the products or compare myself to a multi-billion-dollar business because that's not where people
Their
dwell
mindset
in their mindset every day.
They're not
What
thinking
they do
about
on their
that.
cell phone every day. They are consumers every day. So give them a consumer point of view. They can comprehend the information. So now they're welcoming whatever I go talk about next. And that's why I went that extra route.
Bruh. Genius. like we would sit around and have we would have conversations, and we would recognize that we felt the same exact way about most things.
Yeah.
But we were looking at it from different angles.
Yeah.
And once I understood that you understood what I was on, I had to literally take a back seat to understand why what you were doing was working. It's like, okay, wait. What are you doing? What are you saying? Why are people listening to this?
But we got to talk about this, though. The more professionals gravitate more towards you.
Absolutely. Because
They need that type of information.
Yeah, like I was talking about the things that that were important to them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you already made $1 million before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me tell you why you should be doing this with your time. Even
Facts.
though you have the bag, our income is really more than yours, even though you made as much money before.
Yeah.
Simply because we understand certain things.
Yep.
And then we brought both of those worlds together. So I would talk to certain people and be effective. You would talk to certain people and be effective. And then once we were working together, we started getting better at talking to the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it kind of helped us understand, too. And that's another thing that we learned from multi-level. And disclaimer, we don't do multi-level marketing anymore.
No, we don't.
But I still value what I got from it.
Yeah, like I think that everybody should at least try it.
Yeah, just try it. Like you have put some money to the side and just don't expect to make money, but expect to go for growth more, right?
Yeah.
But I think where a lot of people mess up in business in general, and any product, is not knowing how to talk to whatever audience you want to purchase from you.
Wow.
And so I think that was what we learned we really just grow successful businesses online now outside of the network marketing space because we understand our target audience. I think that's a big deal for a lot of people. A lot of people, what they do is they go based off what, like for example, someone creates a product, they'll talk about how much they like it.
Right.
But what about, is there a target audience?
They're not communicating. They're almost like, what do you call those things? Like a megaphone or whatever you shout. I don't even know what it's called. Like the thing.
Yeah, I know about the megaphone or like.
Yeah, that's basically what people are doing. Like they'll find something that they like, or they want to sell, or a business they want to get into, and then they just start shouting it from that horn. And if you do that on the street, people will start going like, "What the heck is this person doing or saying?"
And then they get frustrated and start talking crap.
Yeah, it's like y'all stupid people want to go see Beyonce tickets, but y'all don't want to get your life together or do business with me. That just shows you black people priorities. Like anytime I ever see anybody say something like that, that lets me know that you don't know how to communicate effectively with the people that you're supposed to be attracting. Yeah, because you're getting frustrated with your clientele base because they're not listening to you. In reality, you should be getting frustrated with yourself and learn that you need to learn how to communicate or speak from the language that they understand or are receptive to.
You know what's crazy how you say that, right? So you looked at, when you saw someone in business and you seen that they are, how they're moving, and you say, you know what, you're not doing business correctly, right?
Yeah.
I look at it from a different perspective, right? I'm looking from the consumer point of view, because I'm thinking, well, how would I look at this if I was a consumer? I see someone frustrated in business.
Yeah.
They're screaming, no one's buying from me
to
get you. That makes me also not want to buy from you.
Yeah.
Because what's the first thing we all go do when we got to go buy a product? We look at the reviews. Right. You screaming bad reviews without even want to say anything.
Right. Everybody's not listening to me. Nobody's buying from me. I'm not about to be the first.
I'm not about to be the first. But guess what? Even if no one sees it, and you instead you just talk positively, and there's 0 people bought your stuff, or 1 person bought your stuff, like, man, I can't stop people from ordering this, whatever, such and such and such. And you keep doing that over and over and over. Curious minds gonna be like, oh yeah. Hey, what is this stuff, bro?
What is this?
But I promise you, ain't no one buying it. You said, ain't no one buying my product. That is not how you market your product. I promise you, no industry in the world.
Beyonce drop a ticket. Y'all don't even know her. Y'all don't even know her Beyonce.
Who cares?
We don't. That means she did her job.
Exactly.
She's doing her job well because people don't know her, want to give her thousands of dollars.
And it's not about Beyonce. If you say that about your enemy, the first thing they're going to go do is going to look into your enemy product.
Ooh. So y'all really going to go buy from them? Tax company. Oh, y'all going to go to TurboTax. Y'all not
when I'm your friend, Billy? Like, bro.
Yes. TurboTax got their stuff
Then
together.
they feel like their business is over. Like no one owes you anything. You gotta know how to talk. You got your what I used to say back in the day. We had so many golden bars back in the day.
Oh man, we had some go-to.
We had some go-to, but I forgot. Oh yeah, but your perspective is your reality, right? So it's like the perspective that you give people is going to be your reality for them as doing business with you. So if you get the perspective of your business is not doing well, the reality is that your business is not doing well. But if you give them the perspective of your business doing well, regardless if they know your numbers or not, in their head, your business is doing great. And so guess what? People are followers usually who consumers are followers. So they're going to want to follow suit because other people bought your stuff. They don't even know what it does.
Right. That's true. That's true, man.
We learned a lot.
Oh yeah.
Slick learned, like it's literally like it taught us life lessons over and over and over, and we didn't even realize it. And I think us following that process, and not getting so caught up in being successful, because I think a lot of people, what they come in trying to they're like, I want to make $20,000 a month. They have zero with no plans and no confidence, but they want to make $20,000 a month. Our goal was like $1,000 a month just to go retire. That's why you was like you're $200 away from retirement, because our goal was at the beginning, man, if we can make $1,000 a month,
right?
I'm happy.
It was to not work a job.
Yeah.
That was the only goal.
Yep.
And then once we achieved that goal, now we don't have a job. So now we have all the time in the world to work on our business.
Yep. That's how our mindset was. Like
right.
Just getting out of that time loop, like this loop of time where it's like you can, and it's taking up like all your time. And I remember when I first quit my job, I was working. I'm not recommending everyone do that, but I was working at Family Dollar for it's my third day on the job, and it was a whole hour went past, and I made $10. And I told my manager, I was like, bro, I'm not coming tomorrow. He said, what you gonna do with your time? I said, I could do a lot of time, 1 hour for $10. I promise you.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's the thing. I think that instead of people having the goal of getting rich, and I mean, obviously having the goal of getting rich is a cool thing. Like, I'm not saying don't want that, right? But I think more important than that is to free up your time.
Get rich in time.
Get rich in time.
That's the new bar.
Get rich in time.
Yeah.
Like when you say get rich in time, you gotta be more specific though.
Okay.
Because when you say get rich in time, that sounds like
I get
a lot of money.
So let me make it a bar, right? So when I say get rich in time, I mean having abundance of time. And so in abundance of time,
free yourself of time.
Free yourself of time. Now for one, you are now. So first, I think a lot of people, what they do is they try to get money first before time. Time is so important, guys. Like I would rather make $100,000 a year with 100% of my time to figure out whatever I want to do versus $300,000 a year, and I'm working 80 hours a week, no time for myself, stressed out, and doing it for someone else's dreams. Yeah. Like if I'm doing 8 hours a week, 100 hours a week for my own dreams, that's different. I'm talking about allocating your value and time to someone else for $300,000 a year for 8 hours a week versus 8 hours a week for yourself with $100,000 a year.
Yeah. So no, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I think it was Warren Buffett. I could be misquoting who it was, but he said, I didn't want to work 40 hours a week because that'll get in the way of making money. And when
something like that.
And when I heard that, I was thinking like, if people understand what he's saying, then everything would change for a lot of people, because it's like people go to their job thinking that they're there to make money, but in reality, you're spending all of your time there, and you're always going to have to spend your time there. So the cycle never ends.
Yep.
And because you're spending so much time there, you have so little of it left to do anything outside of that.
And you're scared.
Yeah, I mean, because you taking any risk, taking any financial risk, especially when you're living a strapped lifestyle when it comes to time and money, it makes you more skeptical, because you understand, even if you're not thinking about it, how much energy you have left after you do certain things. It's like, my energy is completely depleted. There's no way that I can perform at the level that's required outside of this job, on top of this job, and get what I need from this situation.
I got something even deeper than that.
Go ahead.
The social risk that a lot of people are scared to take.
Oh my God.
Because they judge people who they want to be so bad that they feel like once they get in that space, people like them going to judge them. Yeah. So they just don't do anything because they don't want to be in that, if I fail, people can laugh at me situation.
Yeah.
But people who are doing what you want to do aren't laughing at you. They're cheering you on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that was a huge thing. You know, even with what we were doing.
Yeah.
Because we had to look like the guys doing that scam thing. Like I just jokingly put up the post, the story post that I just did.
Yeah.
With you in the background, and somebody DM'd me. It's somebody who we both know. It was jokingly. They was like scammers. but the reason why he said that was because of the.
So people used to always do that.
Yeah, the stigma back then was, yo, these dudes, they be doing that scam pyramid thing. And we had to wear that because we were trying to better ourselves.
Yeah.
Just because people didn't understand what was going on, we had to basically go through that social hit.
Yeah. And you're gonna really go through that no matter how successful. We were going through that when we're making $30,000 a month and $20,000.
Oh my God!
It didn't got worse.
It didn't.
It
stop.
don't change anything. People are going to hate. So you gotta realize is that it's an eternal issue within themselves.
Yeah.
And if you were doing it, it's an eternal issue for yourself. But the only person you can work on is yourself. You can't be thinking about no one else.
Yeah.
Trying to, because if you bend to social pressure, you're going to be just like everybody else.
Man, you know what's so crazy? Like, because we had the experiences we've had.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, we had to develop like rhino skin. Like,
Man,
super tough skin.
you
I don't
can't
even know
teach
if
that.
I don't even know if rhino skin is super
Yeah.
tough, but I think rhino skin is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But because we had to develop that, I forget sometimes that people actually suffer from
Social pressure. They be scared.
I
man.
forgot.
Yeah.
That's a really
And
good
it
thing.
sounds silly for us. Like,
Yeah.
I would never not do something because I'm afraid with some random person I don't know.
Man, when you start to really climb, like people open up to you more.
Yeah.
You know, like when they recognize that you're a certain type of person, they're willing to start talking to you in a way where they probably not comfortable just telling any person.
Yeah.
If people understood how much other people don't have it together, they would care a lot less about what people think, and they would be a lot more graceful for themselves. Like they would treat themselves with a lot more grace.
Yeah. I think right now it's like, it's a good and a bad thing, right? It's with social media now, like you said earlier, that more people are becoming more successful.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just now clicking and getting it, right?
Yeah.
That most people don't realize that either that person that's on that social media is really made it, and they didn't see all the time and sweat and tears to get there,
Right.
or that person just faking until they get there.
Yeah.
But regardless, some people don't see the from zero to hero. So they either see the hero or they see the zero, right?
Right.
And so a lot of people, they try it. I actually got this from Justin. I remember, he might not remember saying, it was like back in our days when we used to do public speaking, he was like, a lot of people have a microwave mentality where, you know, if you put something in the microwave and it says put it on for 5 minutes, you put it on for 2 minutes instead, you open it, you close it, put it on for another 2 minutes, you open and close it, 2 minutes, open and close it. And they said 5 minutes, but they never said 5 minutes and stopping in between time, so your food's not warm. But if you keep it in 5 minutes the whole time and don't stop, be consistent, it's warm. It's like a lot of people, they stop and go. And when they do the full 6 minutes, even though an entrepreneur doesn't have a time limit, when they do a certain amount of time, they think, oh man, this ain't for me. When it's like, no, you just wasn't consistent. Like consistency, being optimistic, like a lot of those little easy things that, well, it's not easy, those things that you can't, you have to just have a belief level of,
Yeah.
will get people so much further.
Man, I think what you're saying is so true, bro. Like I think that a lot of people sleep on the importance of what you're saying right now. Because I mean, the reality is it's everything. But I think one of the things that people, and we used to say this a lot back in the day, like some people are driving fast or trying to drive fast, but in the wrong car.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was a big thing too. Like we used to be like,
wrong vehicle.
If they're in the wrong vehicle. Like if you're in the Honda Civic and you flooring it, you know, you're only gonna go but so fast. But if you in the Ferrari, and you next to the person in the Honda Civic, you don't even have to floor that thing. But the vehicle that you're in does matter.
Yeah,
you know, and I mean, because you could be consistent, you can have the right attitude, you can have the right belief. But if you're in the Honda Civic and you wondering why all these Ferraris is passing you,
and that goes to that saying that don't work, because a lot of people, like when and it's really condescending. There's like, I believe in working hard more than working smart.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah,
you can work hard and smart at the same time.
Yeah.
It's bad when you're working hard and not smart, actually.
Yeah, if you working smart, you supposed to work hard too.
Yeah.
You know, the person who works smart that's not working hard always get passed up by the person who working smart and hard.
Yeah.
You know, man, that's good, bro. You over here going in, man. My boy Branden got that wisdom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, boy, that wisdom kicked in, boy, back in the day.
Oh yeah, I'm bringing that MLM, just having those memories. But like it really took us. Like we did a lot of crazy stuff. Like I remember that one time. Like even though I remember that one time I don't know if you was drunk. I don't think you was drinking at the time.
Yeah, I didn't start drinking until I was 22.
Yeah, I think I was trying to get you drunk before that, but that's another story.
Bruh. Don't confess on camera, bro. I was 19 years old and he tried to give me liquor.
Just a little shot.
Hey, you want a shot? I'm like,
that was like foreign. Man. Like, you don't drink.
You don't drink. Why not?
That's weird.
I was focused.
I remember one of our friends that we made, because when we first started waking up now, a lot of people, I don't think you remember this. It was just not me and you. It was me, you, and one other guy. And you probably don't remember, right?
I have no
and we
clue.
were all like, yeah, we're going to do this. Let's make it work, right? And we were game planning things.
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to tie it all together. We're game
okay.
planning. We're talking about what we're going to do. But, you know, society pressure. People are talking to him, and he quit, gave up, worked a regular job. I don't know what he was doing after that, right? But we were all, once we became successful, you know, when everyone starts drinking, that friend who would have been with you will always start talking, man, you know, I remember when I was reminiscing, like, well, he would be. And while we was drunk, we was drinking, we was like, hey, bro, let's make a YouTube video, because we're big on YouTube. It was like, let's motivate people not to be like you.
Yeah.
And let's make you a martyr to quitters. Saying, look, me and Shaquille made it, but he didn't, because he quit too early.
Oh, yeah, the guy who quit.
Yeah, the guy that quit. And he became successful as a martyr.
Yeah.
And known. People used to, you the guy I don't want to be like. But he was a martyr.
Yeah.
And that can be, sometimes some people got to go a different route to become successful.
Yeah, that's true. we used that story.
Yeah.
And it was stuck. Like when we were at events, the guy who quit.
Yeah, don't be like him.
And he was winning because he became known as the guy who quit, and you don't want to be a quitter.
Yeah.
And because he wasn't quitting anymore, people respected that.
And then people was like, I mean, people used to come in the rooms like, I ain't gonna lie, man, I was a little on the fence, but then his story came up, and I was thinking, man, I don't want to be like him.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, this is genius.
Yeah,
we were doing some crazy things.
Yeah, bro. And I gotta give you credit, bro, because you was the one thinking outside of the box. I didn't understand YouTube. I didn't understand posting your food online. I didn't understand taking pictures. You know what I'm saying? By at the dealership going, I'm about to buy this car. Like, I didn't get why any of that was important. But as we were doing it, I recognized, like, man, we really are showing people what's possible. Yep. We were showing people, like, because we was going out to eat at restaurants. I was spending $1,000 a week at restaurants. Mm-hmm. And I mean, at a certain point, my goal was $1,000 a month to live. Yeah, and just showing people, like, hey, like, this is what life could be like. Yep. Like, listen to what I'm trying to teach you. And they sing the documentation on a day-to-day basis. Yep. That inspired and helped people see the vision. Because it's one thing to say, hey, we making this money. Yep. It's another thing to say, hey, you could too. But when people see that this is how that money spends, this is the life that you could live. Yep. If you were sticking to this, if we were inspiring people all around the country.
Because we were real people. We were like on camera, off camera, on Instagram, on YouTube. I feel like, because I wasn't a YouTube expert, I was just uploading. We were just doing two things: uploading stuff that really happened, or sitting in front of the camera with one subject in mind and just talking about what we thought about that, and then just being real. We didn't edit anything. No. And if we had the camera, we were like, I was a videographer, and I still wasn't editing anything, because we just kept it raw and real. And I feel like, because people don't want to see, like, we started doing the vacation stuff. We were more already popular before we started going on vacation and stuff. Yeah. We were just being people that people can actually relate to.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably not going to be as effective for people to just upload YouTube videos today as it was then, because it was nobody else doing it.
Yeah,
right?
It was an empty market.
When I see people doing it now, I just be thinking, like, this is crazy, because this did not exist at all. But I mean, honestly, we were pioneers of it. I mean, more specifically you, because you put the camera in my face, and I'm thinking, what we doing?
But to be honest, though, it's like, I feel like if we didn't meet each other and we didn't play off each other's dynamics, we were. I would be so afraid of where we would be today if I didn't get fired from Walmart, if I didn't meet you, if you didn't make the decision to stay in there, we didn't make the decision to just make random YouTube videos and do
Yeah.
and join this $100 opportunity.
Yeah.
That $100 changed our life more than that $32,000 a month.
That's a fact. That's a big fact.
Like those little decisions.
I mean, it was really big decisions.
They were big decisions,
because the gravity of it didn't seem as big as what it was.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even us coming together for the $100,
True.
that connected us.
Yeah.
That connected us for a common goal. So even though we weren't like twin brothers or best friends like people assumed, like, can y'all imagine? Like, I mean, you look at the camera. Look at this camera right. They used to think we were twin brothers, bro. Like, they would walk up to you and talk to you like you me, and walk up to me and talk to me like, I'm like, do they not see our faces? Like, what is wrong with people? But no, seriously, those decisions were big because we weren't what people assumed we were.
Yeah.
We were
common interests.
We had common interests. We both were intelligent enough to recognize that we could use some qualified help.
Yeah.
Right. We just so happened to be good people.
Yeah.
Right. Like that was pure coincidence.
Yeah,
Because
it's hard
we
to find
both.
that sometimes.
Oh my God. Like as
That reminds me, we gotta talk about those stories too.
okay, as random as our decision was to move together, we both lucked out completely.
Yeah.
Because bro, it's so many instances where character was really being like challenged,
Yeah.
but we just aced the test so well
Yeah.
that it wasn't any issues.
Yeah.
It was like if we did run into something, it's like, but this the right thing to do though.
Yeah.
And we would carry things with, humility and with character.
Yeah, but
So-
when we think about while we're on the subject,
Okay.
everyone ain't good. And here's the double this story, right?
Okay.
More me than you. It was like since we were just such great people,
Yeah.
we thought once we start making a lot of money,
Yeah.
and we're young, 23, 19, 20,
Yeah.
we were making 19, 20, 30, $40,000 a month. And it was like, man, we were being older people. This is when the older people were respecting us, and we met a lot of older, people.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say their names, but we met our fair share of people that we've given money to.
Yeah.
And they definitely ran off on us.
yeah. Like trying
Multiple times.
trying to invest, trying
Yep.
to be responsible, trying to grow, trying to get outside of our box and do what people say is the mature thing.
Yep.
Bro, like in between investing and people doing bad business, we probably lost millions.
Yeah, you're right.
Millions.
You're right.
With and this is the type of stuff people don't want to talk about. People want to hide and pretend.
Everything is sunshine
but
and
honestly, I wouldn't have it no other way.
Oh, I don't regret it. I needed that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yo, bro, I just invest. See, and a lot of people are afraid of losses, are
Yeah.
afraid of losing. But you used to say this: fail. What was it? Fail
early,
early,
fell often,
fail often,
fell forward.
Man, and it's so true. It's so true because, like, man, listen, bro, take money from me. Anyway, we invested like $30,000 each
Yeah.
into a film company.
Yep.
Cool. So trying to do good business. It's like, yo, this dude got his stuff together,
Yep.
and he wasn't trying to do good business,
Yeah.
right? And just from that scenario, like we actually were executive producers on films that actually came
Yep.
out. Our name credits on TV. It's
Yep.
like, oh, this is a success. This is what success looks like.
Yeah.
Well, not if the bag don't come.
Yeah.
Right. We were just overpaid to see our name on TV
Yeah.
and to be able to brag about the fact that it's on a national network. Like
Yeah.
I'm not here to do that. Like I was here to make profit.
Yeah.
But I say all of that to say this. Like now I know if somebody asks me, hey, you want to invest in something? It's like, okay, well, what assets do you have that I can leverage if this don't go the way you plan?
Yeah.
Or what contingencies can we take in order to make sure? Like I didn't think like that.
But
dude.
we had to go through that.
Yeah,
to think like that.
it's
We
like-
can't go through it too many times.
It's like I'm with the plan. I like the sound of it.
Yeah.
Everything sounds great and dandy. I mean, even now, if I heard the guy pitch the pitch now, it might still sound like a great plan
You gotta do it
because
the right way.
he executed what he said he was going to do, except for the paying us back part, right?
Yeah.
Those experiences taught me how to be the man that I am right now.
Yep.
And if I valued the $30,000 more than I valued, now don't get me wrong, it hurt.
Yeah.
I sacrificed a lot. You was making an investment, I was making an investment, but your income was much more than mine, right?
Yeah.
At the time, I might have been, and this is the type of stuff people don't talk about because I was really investing in my future. I was probably making like $8,000 a month.
And you invested
and
$30,000.
I'm committing $5,000 of my income per month because we did it in a 6-month increment.
Yeah.
We didn't do it all at one time.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, hey, listen, if you guys do, $5,000 a month for this amount of time, we can do X, Y, and Z with this. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. So everybody looking at me like, oh, this dude making $8,000, $10,000, $14,000 a month, $19,000 a month. But I'm investing in what I think is my future. So now the money left over, I got to invest into my business that I'm running and also my life.
Yep.
After I did all of that,
no money
I was rich and broke at the same time.
You're going to feel that a lot as an entrepreneur.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That don't stop at that moment.
No, it doesn't. And I think that a lot of people think that, once you get to the point of having a certain amount of money or income, life is grand after that. But I'll be telling people, it's like, no, like the struggle that you're struggling with now, like that doesn't stop. You just get mentally stronger.
Yep.
You get more skills. Yep. You become more qualified. You become more knowledgeable. More like that's really what it's all about.
Failure is necessary.
Yeah, and once you get to certain points, then you're able to sustain in another way.
Yep.
Now I could spend, tens of thousands of dollars in a month.
Yep.
And it's like, this is just for personal spending.
Yeah.
This doesn't matter, like, because I set things up. But if I would have just been trying to do that when we were just making it from that company, then I would have never been able to learn those lessons, and I would have been stupid with my money, and I could have made a few bad investments and not know how to conduct myself.
You want to know why a lot of people can't get to where they want to be?
Why?
It's because they avoid those type of failures.
Man,
we embrace it. We understand it's a part of the process, and like I always tell people, like, have you ever met a successful person that's never failed? And they're like, no. I said, then why are you avoiding that? Failure is just another word in business and in life and pretty much relationships. Failure is just another word for experience.
Right.
You can't imagine your first time doing business, your first time dating, or your first time doing whatever, and you're going in there with zero experience. What do you expect to happen?
You think I mean, some people do strike and get lucky.
Yeah, but that's like the lottery mentality.
That is.
You gotta be calculated.
You gotta go in there with the preparation of knowing I'm the least qualified person in this situation. I said it on another episode. The person with the money meets the person with the experience.
Yeah.
The person with the experience leaves with the money, and the person with the money leaves with the experience.
Yeah.
And that's how it always happens. So, and a lot of time people think failing is failure, and that's two different things.
Yep.
You can fail today and not be a failure.
Yeah.
But you're a failure if you stop at that point.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only time you become a failure if you decide to quit. Man, that's good, bro.
Yeah, like I think actually our biggest lessons, when you asked me earlier what was our biggest, I think just failing. Just failing. Yeah. Relationships. Friendships.
Paying people. Friendships. Oh my God.
Friendships, relationships, business, cribs. I think everything in life, really.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the more you embrace situations that you can't guarantee and just doesn't go your way, and you understand, if this doesn't go my way, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna learn. Right. Because I think it's how you react to failure is what kind of drives your path to the future. So, person A, I'll give you an example. I remember this story. Two twins growing up. Mm-hmm. Dad used to beat on the wife. They both watched the dad beat on the wife. Twin A and B grew up. Twin A beat on the wife. Twin B cherished his wife. And someone asked the twins, like, first one, why do you beat on your wife? He's like, well, that's all I know, because that's what my dad did. And then twin B said, why don't you beat on your wife? Because I saw my dad do it, and I ain't like that, so I want to become better. So how you interpret situations and experiences and failures and all those different things, how you take that stuff and reciprocate it is going to be your future. So it's not the circumstances that make the person, it's how you react to the circumstances.
Man, boy, you in here going in. That's true, bro. That's exactly right. Like, I think a lot of people don't really understand that, because they think that their circumstances the reason why they're having the problems they're having. But I started off with all the circumstances against me. Yep. I actually brought up some of the other things I was facing while we were going through this dramatic stuff with the episode with Justin. Like, I let him know, like, hey, when I was, roommating with Branden, I didn't tell you, but I was facing criminal stuff from when I was a teenager.
I didn't even know that.
Right? Like we had a whole lease together. I wasn't even on the lease. As a matter of fact, what's crazy? You asked me to be on the lease, and I was like, nah, because if they run a background check, we both get put out of here. Right? So it's just little things like that. I didn't wear that on my sleeve. Yeah. And I knew it didn't define who I was. I knew I changed. I knew my mentality was different. I knew I wasn't on that anymore. I wasn't that type of person. I wanted to be better. I was committed to being better. I didn't want that to taint how people viewed me because at that point I was not that person. Yep. So I didn't lead in my relationships with wearing my problems. Yeah. And I think a lot of people do that. Yep. It's like you can't even interact with people because of what you're going through, and that's the reason why don't nobody want to interact with you, because you're wearing what you're going through too strongly. And I was going through those problems. I had to get an attorney, I had to, show up to whatever I had to show up to. And I'm doing all of this without saying a word to anybody who's a part of my future. That was my past I was dealing with. Yeah. But my future looked completely different. So it was no reason to bring that old energy into this.
And in another universe, there's a Shaqq that did let that be his problem, let it be his excuses, and probably not where you want to be. It's how you react to your circumstances. Man. It's not about your circumstances. That's why there's rich kids that are thriving who was born rich. Then there are rich kids who was born rich that lost everything. Because it's not what you are, where you are, or what you have. It's how you react to those situations and those circumstances and those people and everything else. That's kind of big. Like I think that's the biggest advice you can really give anybody, because you can't control what's going to happen in the future. You can't prepare no one. You can only prepare people on how they react to it. Like, look, you should look, analyze, and say, you know what? Look at everything positive, even your negative situations. Because if you ever been through a bad situation in a relationship, and you cried that day, are you happy today? Did you learn life lessons in a relationship? Because I think that's universally what everyone does, to go through a relationship. Think that in business too. You're going to go through something. You're going to cry. You're going to be upset. You're going to be stressed. But understand there's a future. Yeah. On the other side of
that's a fact.
Sunshine.
Man, listen, that's good, bro. That's good. I think one of the things that you really taught me, that I learned, and I didn't really have a concept for even back then, right? Like, it's becoming clearer and clearer to me now, because I was a part of certain things. We worked together real closely for way longer than that situation, and something that you're really good at and you still thrive on is community building. Yeah. Right? Like, I think that, was that yesterday?
Yeah, we were working on some stuff yesterday.
Yeah. So just based on that, I noticed, I'm like, what's so crazy? Branden always had a talent with building a community and making sure that you had a place where like-minded people can come and you provide them value. Like, talk about the importance of building a community and why you do it and what you get from it. Because I don't think a lot of people really understand that.
Okay, so say it one more time as far as...
So just talk about why you build communities and what benefit that you get from having an established community.
Got you. So how I learned how important communities were was from MLM network marketing, right? Because I never heard of a network marketing team. When I first joined network marketing, and I thought I was just paying for a product, and this guy was like, "Welcome to a team." I was like, "This was an MCA." I was like, "Team?" I thought I just bought roadside assistance. I'm confused. And I can see now when I think about it why people be confused sometimes, because I was confused, like, team. And then once I started being part of some team atmospheres over and over, I realized your environment beats willpower, right? So without the environment, sometimes you can be the person, you can try hard, but sometimes being around negative people all day, and being around people that make you feel good for quitting, root you on for quitting, telling you did a nice try, man, I was rooting for you. Those are people you don't want around you. You want people around you to make you feel bad for quitting. You want to be around people that are talking about $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year, $300,000 a month, $300,000 a day. You want people to think all of y'all are crazy, not just you. So I like to build communities because communities establishes that culture, and then with that culture.
Hold up. We good? You was talking about communities. Just remember that. You want me to stop recording? I'm gonna pause it. It's back. I think I paused it. Did I pause it?
Yeah, let me check.
Oh no, we good. You said you were talking about community, bro. My bad.
Okay, yeah, you good. So I was just talking about like I feel like the value within itself is just having a community. So like when I learned like even in network marketing MLM, when some people were not making no money,
Yeah.
but they paid that bill on time because they wanted to go around the events, they wanted to be around just like-minded people, and I think that's worth money of itself.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can go left where you go to these weird cults and they do weird things, but no one ever talks about the culture of it being around people. Because like, yeah, there are people who go to weird cults, and there are people who go to great communities. Then there are people in the middle who have nothing. They can't be around anybody. They're alone all the time. They're not around like-minded people. And the only thing that most people share in those type of communities is bitterness towards each other. And so, at least on the cult side and the culture side, everyone's cooperating. But in this side, you literally are just, only thing y'all are happy about is each other's failure, and y'all smile fake. Like, there are people who genuinely happy on both sides to see you win. On this side, they're happy to fake support you, and then they're happy to tell you that you tried to. I'll never tell someone in my community that you did to give up. I'll be like, nah, that's not how it works. Because tough love is the best love.
Man, that's good. You know, I think that was one of our secrets too.
Yeah.
You know, like when we moved in and did the roommate thing, it was I was grinding every day. Like I had to get off the floor. My mattress was on the floor. So I was hungry, right? And you were in a position that you probably was doing better than you've done doing anything else. Yeah, like you had a part-time job that was like high-key, low-key, remote, making thousands of dollars doing nothing. Yeah. Like basically
I was working on my business while I was there.
Yeah, you were making six figures a year just about, even when you was at like $5,000 a month. Yeah. You know, so you were really winning. And I think that most people being in that position will have a certain sense of complacency. Yeah. But just because it's a comfortable place to be, especially coming from a lot less, right? Yeah. But because I was there as well, and I was hungry, and I was like, my life is on the line. Yeah. I still got to deal with my past, right? Yeah. I got to make sure I get it out the mud. I think that energy being introduced from go get up and get it, it put a battery. You couldn't even be complacent. Yeah, because no way. Because your character wouldn't allow you to be lazy while I'm out working you and I'm watching you.
But if you're lazy, it will make me want to be lazy.
Exactly. So the environment made your willpower a lot stronger because it was a powerful environment. I don't think a lot of people really understand that concept or understand that concept enough. You know, like me leaving the hood, me not being around people who didn't have much, it transformed how I seen things. Yeah. It's like, I remember at a certain point, the idea of making 5 figures a month, 10,000 plus a month, is like, bro, you gotta be a doctor or a lawyer. We don't have no hopes of that. Realistically, my grandma been alive for I don't know how long, and she ain't getting that. So, you know, we kind of settle in our mind simply because we don't have the exposure, right? But me and you being as close connected as we were attracting different people from different tribes because we were so different personality-wise. Yeah. You were attracting a lot of people. I was attracting a lot of people, and we would just put them all together. And then next thing you know, we had people from all walks of life. And then we were getting other people involved who had different influence, who respected what we were doing. Yep. And they were bringing their people as well. And then, we'll throw an event and no less than a few hundred people show up. Yep. At every city in every state we went to, is like, people are there waiting for us. Yeah. And that was established because of the environment that we created at home. Yeah. That was the source of it all.
We used to do like them little events at Wet Willie's, and we would just do some simple stuff. We used to go to Wet Willie's.
Man, Wet Willie's was your favorite spot. I was getting in there underage. Don't they ID you when you go in there?
Yeah, they do.
I didn't drink, so they didn't have to worry about me drinking because I didn't do it. Yeah. But that was your go-to spot, and so we would go there almost like 3-4 days a week after the meeting, and everyone
would come.
Some people was excited about going to Wet Willie's more than they was excited about coming to the meeting. So we had those people. We had the party people. We had the intellectual people. We had to get money people.
That's the things we also we learned too. You just reminded me about that. The 4 type of personalities. Yeah, that's something that we learned too. At first, I used to think it was corny teaching that, but practical in real life. Like there are people who did come just for the party. They just want to come for the parties. They go pay just to be part of parties.
Right.
Then the people want to make some money. Then the caring. I just want to help people. And then what was the fourth one? I forget. Partiers.
Oh, analytical
people. Yeah.
those are
the hard ones to get.
Those are the people that I do the best with.
That was the people. That's why I forgot them.
You avoid them. You smart, bro. Go over there with your question. You got too many questions for me. I wanted before we close out, man, because this is wonderful, bro. We covered a lot, and I think that a lot of people are gonna get a lot of value out of this, man. I want to ask you this one question, bro.
Yeah.
If you can have a conversation with your 18-year-old self, or just an 18-year-old in general. I mean, I don't know. You can answer it however you choose.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give that person in order to live not just financially successful, but just generally a successful life?
It's a good question. I got to think about it.
No, that's okay.
So if I had to talk to my 18-year-old self.
If you had an opportunity to do that.
And we're just giving them like one bar.
I mean, I'm not saying one bar. It don't have to. I'm not gonna limit you like that because I wanna hear some solid advice, bro.
Okay, if I had to talk to my 18-year-old self and I had to give myself advice, really just all the points that we talked about today, like don't embrace failing. He's 18, so he understands. Like I used to get that one quote back in the day. I used to it was my starting pickup one.
Okay.
I say, raise your hands if you drive. Everyone started riding. Everyone got a license? Like, yeah. Okay. Question. When did you become good at driving? And people are like, I don't know. I said, exactly. First, you got a mentor to teach you how to drive. Then they let you go and you start driving. You were struggling. Your hands was on the wheel. You were uncomfortable. You were both hands. And eventually, over time, you went from this to relaxing and probably doing things you probably shouldn't be doing while driving. Yeah. And so I always tell people, you spent more time focused on your destination and less time trying to be perfect at it. Because if you're trying to be perfect at it, you will never start driving because driving can be really, really scary. Imagine you looked at driving like business, and before you got behind that wheel, before you even got that mentor, before you even listened to anybody, you were trying to figure out how to do it before you even get behind the wheel. He's like, so my 18-year-old self, what I tell him is like, look, man, focus on your destination. Don't be afraid of mentorship. Don't be afraid to just focus on your destination and enjoy the process.
Enjoy the process.
Enjoy the failures. That's a part. The process, and I think about like a process. When I say process, because it's multifaceted. I mean, it's the process. It's the networking. It's the wins. I actually remember the failures and appreciate the failures more. I remember the wins was like just so small compared to the life lessons that you get when you go through things. So I tell people like, go through those things. Like, don't be afraid. Don't fall. Enjoy the pressures of social pressure. Everything. So enjoy that process, good and bad, and you go and be optimistic and allow your belief level to match. Or actually have your belief level so high, like on a 10, to where no matter what you do, you're going to do what you got to do. Because I think a lot of people, they might be, when it comes to talent, a 10, but their belief level is a 2. You're only going to go as far. But someone who has a belief level of 10, man, they do things extraordinary and they push their limits. Like, I watch a lot of anime. In anime, the loser always wins because they're the person that just push their limits and push their limits and push their limits. They fail. People are laughing at them and they become a beast later.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like you just described Naruto, but
that's pretty much every anime.
Yeah. To a certain extent, right.
And the 18-year-old me will understood that because he loved anime. I still do.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I could dig it, bro. I appreciate you for blessing us, man. I feel like we're gonna have to do another episode, man.
Right, so we didn't even get into like the current stuff.
We didn't even talk
about the past.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about now, man. I'm gonna say it on camera, man, because it's something I've been thinking about, man. I'm gonna bring a couple people through here, and I think it'd be real cool if you was a co-host on a couple episodes, because it's so much history, man. So much history with a lot of high-level entrepreneurs now, and it'll be really cool to have you on, man. So I appreciate you for blessing me with your time. And, man, and make sure you shout out all your social medias where people can connect with you at, man, so people can find you.
CEO Branden across the board. So YouTube.com/CEO Branden, Instagram.com/CEO Branden, Facebook.com/CEO Branden. Oh, and Branden with an E. I'm not the Branden with an O. So CEO BRANDE D-E-N, not O-N, D-E-N. And anyone else you see with CEO Branden on Instagram, that's not that exact word, is not me. I have a lot of weirdos that try to pretend to be me. So I just want to give it out there. There's only one CEO Branden. I don't have a CEO Branden _2.
Right, nah, for sure, man. We appreciate it. And that's it. If y'all got value from this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you follow this man on all his social media platforms. And share this with somebody who you think gonna get value.